Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Music Mayhem Show. This is Mindy Mayhem. I am a bassist in a grunge punk band, and what up? Give me a like, give me a follow. Help me get started here. I'm just starting out, so have a little mercy on my old soul, trying to find a way through the world, and here I am. All right, so let's go back to the randomizer. Oh, beautiful and wise randomizer, please give me something besides make it mayhem. Oh shit! Here we go! Mayhem Files. All right, so I'm so excited to do this because I want to let you know I have been a believer in UFOs ever since I was a damn kid. I've been so excited about it because the Pentagon has been releasing like these like UFO UAP tranches. I've been following this stuff for years at this point. I mean, like I feel like it started off like when I was a kid, and like there was like a lot more stigma, behind like believing in it. Like people acted like you were crazy and everything, but like I myself have seen something. So when I was about 15, 16, I grew up in northern Wisconsin. It was like right bordering on Lake Superior. And one night, like my dad's outside smoking a cigarette, and then he like runs inside really quick, and I'm like the only kid still living at home. My brother and sister had moved out, and my mom was at work that night. And my dad runs inside and he's like, "Hey, Mindy, like check it out. Like there's something weird in the sky." We step outside and it was a glowing orb. It was probably maybe about a mile away, about half the distance between the house where I grew up, which was out in the country, and Lake Superior, which is Ashland, Wisconsin, is like my hometown. It looked like it was like super close to a like a TV antenna or like a radio tower or something like that. I can't remember. I think it was a radio tower, and it was kind of hovering around that area. And we looked through binoculars, and like you could see, it was like it looked like an orb, but it was kind of like almost like they call it lenticular shaped, so like kind of like almost oval shaped, and it had like little red dots, just like kind of like kind of like around in a circle, I think, like on the bottom of it, like little red dots, like, and like this was before drones, this was like mid 90s, something like that, like so this was like before drones, and like especially before at least like tons of civilians had them or anything like that. It wasn't a helicopter because like it was close enough where we would have been able to hear a helicopter because living out in the country, I mean, like there was no street noise, there's no sirens, there's no like city noise or anything like that. It's like pretty quiet. So if at night there's a plane or a helicopter of some sort, you could definitely hear it like about 2 miles away. I mean, like you could really hear it. And it wasn't moving in a way like a helicopter would. It was just kind of like hovering. So like if you could picture, all right, I'm going to use like my makeup as an example. All right, so this is the the radio tower, and this is like the UAP. And like it basically was just like, and then it would kind of like fly off like up at the air for like a while, kind of do like erratic movements, and then come back down to like the radio tower. Like I don't know if it was like sucking the juice from it or like listen to radio stations. I have no idea. No idea, but like it was the weirdest shit, and like it was about an hour that this thing was doing this. And at the time, like we only had camcorders, like we didn't have smartphones. So like my dad like recorded with a camcorder and stuff. And like I'm pretty sure like my mom still has the footage. My dad passed away in 2020, but like I'll try to see if my mom can like send me that and I can like show you guys or whatever. But it was pretty trippy. And like we got actually like pretty decent footage of it. We just couldn't make out like the shape of a craft or like anything metallic or anything like that. It was just glowing bright. Um, Second story I have is when I was about 13, so like about 3, 4 years beforehand, my brother was like a little bit older than me, like 8 years older, and he had bought a snowmobile, but the fuel gauge was broken on the snowmobile, and he ran out of gas in the middle of the middle of the woods. Wisconsin winter too, of course, because it was a snowmobile. He walks to a farmhouse, which was like super close by, like maybe about a mile away, calls home to our parents' house, and my dad grabs gas and like a gas can, and then heads out into the woods to like help them. And like they're putting gas into the snowmobile, and then all of a sudden, like there's like a grove of trees kind of basically all around them, and then about 150 feet away is like a bright, bright, like green glowing light. And like it started like it lit up and like there was like a humming noise, and then it started like raising up, and like they could see like the shadows and stuff like through the trees and everything, and they're just kind of like looking there looking at it, I guess apparently for a few minutes. I wasn't there, but like I have heard this story told and retold a bajillion times. My my dad and my brother's story has never changed. And like this craft was like lifting up through the trees, and like there was like kind of like beams of light kind of like shining through like the slits between the trees and everything. And my dad and my brother like just kind of like watch it for like a minute, just kind of like raising up, and then they look at each other like fuck this. Like, so they hopped into my dad's truck. They're like fuck the snowmobile, and like they drove back to our house, like our parents' house and everything, and like they busted the door like they had seen a ghost. I mean, like they were pale white, they were totally freaked out. They were talking like a mile a minute. It was kind of hard to keep up with it and everything. And I grew up redneck, as I call it. So like their response was call a couple uncles, and then like they're going to grab their guns and like go back into the woods and rescue the snowmobile. I was like, yeah, sure. I'm sure a shotgun will really help in this situation. But by the time they got back there, like there was nothing there anymore. Like there was no record, like there was no evidence of it. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't melted snow. You would think that there was melted snow. There wasn't like any burnt trees or anything like that and everything. So I mean, like I don't know if that's the truth or not, but like they've always said so. All right, let's get into the meat of why I even started this shit in the first place. Again, I'm a believer. I believe in UAPs, always have, always will. So I am very excited. There is absolutely no audio on this, so I guess that's good. I won't violate any copyrights for sure. But this is the latest fourth batch of UAP UFO files that has been released by the Pentagon. I think it was Friday on the 10th. All right, so without further ado, let's watch this. I'm excited about it. I haven't even seen any of this yet, so I've been busy with other things. What in the hell do we have here? So this is Middle East 2023. And just want to make sure. Yeah, okay. Made sure I was signed on to the YouTube Premium account, so I didn't have a commercial that would just snap it. Whoa, whoa, what? That's all we get on that one? I thought some of these would be slower. That one's weird. Um, some like many of these are like I don't know if I've even seen before, through other channels or other methods. That's interesting. They're like, is that water? That's got to be water. Like they really sure do like being around water. I wonder if, I wonder if, I mean, aside from the whole theory that there's like underground or underwater bases and crazy stuff like that and everything. I just wonder like if they like need water for something, to drink, to power something on their crafts. Does water, like is that their fuel? Like what what's going on? You know what I mean? But I mean like, part of it is the fact that like there is less eyes out in the middle of the ocean than there is, in cities and everything. So like maybe just as like areas have gone, become more and more populated, like they've been kind of pushed out, so that, to avoid detection. I just wish one would just like land and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? We're from blah blah blah, and hey, how's it going? Like we've been around for a few hundred years." That thing looks like a flying stoplight. What the hell is that thing? the thing that baffles me is like the shape of some of these. Up until very recently, in the past couple of years, and like I thought that like UAPs and UFOs were either kind of like the oval shaped crafts or like the glowing spheres, like that the glowing spheres. I mean, like people have been reporting those forever. I mean, like I've seen it. Um, this is very interesting. I wish that we knew, for what it's worth, like how fast it is going. But I feel like, of all the videos of, things captured, and it filters through and it filters through, um, I would say like anything that the Pentagon releases is, like probably um, something mysterious in nature at the very least. It's kind of hard to trust it though, so don't trust anything. Is anybody out there? Hello. Is there anybody out there? I'm just a little traffic light, and I'm flying through the ocean. Relax. It's just a guy in a jetpack. Looks like a sideways stegosaurus. You see that? Looks like a sideways. He's a sideways stegosaurus, right? It's like front legs, back legs, and it's like the spikes on its back. All right. Anyways, carry on. That is a weird shape. That is a weird shape for it. I don't know if that is just how the sunlight is like catching it. You know, what does it look like? I don't know. Now that I see a sideways Stegosaurus, I can't get beyond that. So that is interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. That thing's hauling ass too, man. I wonder how fast that is going. I wish that we knew how fast that they were going, and I mean, like we know what direction they're heading in. But at the same time, I mean, like I get it that they like kind of blank out, like redact like the information and everything, so as to not give away government military secrets or how-tos or any proprietary information. But at the same time, I mean, like it's just it sometimes kind of like removes context away. So like we don't know how fast this guy is traveling. So if it is traveling, say, 10 miles an hour, it could be a balloon just caught up in, some type of, Gulf Stream, jet stream, or something like that. That's just, flying. Um, if the jet stream is like fast enough, I mean, like it could be flying pretty fast, even if it is like a mundane object, like a balloon or like a piece of debris that, a piece of garbage that somehow floated up in the air and is doing that or whatever and everything. It's very interesting. And also, I'm not sure if like this is related to the temperature of the item insofar as like the coloring, but that is most definitely water that it is going over. Just, just doing some random stuff there. It's like hard to make out the. Okay, got it. All right. It's that weird little shadow right there that's like floating up. I mean, again, it's hard to say. I mean, like it could be like literally something that's like it somehow caught in like a draft, if you will, like up in the air and like started floating up. But that's just it's weird looking. I would say if anything, like that motherfucker's cloaked. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I think like half the time. You know what I mean? Like you could be like looking up in the sky, like even in like broad daylight, and like there's probably like 150 of them just like hovering in your backyard, and you have like no idea. You know what I mean? Um, but I've wondered, like, oh, that was my dog. Freaked me out for a second there. Um, Yeah, that's weird looking. The, the the problem I have is that I don't know if you just like saw that like pass over the cloud. You see that as it pass over the cloud? Like there, I feel like there's not much more to the structure. That's the weird part. So like is it just that glowy stripe there? Because like when it's passing in front of clouds, like you can still see the cloud, you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's, like somehow obfuscated, and then like all of a sudden you see like a blank patch of, where the cloud should be, you know what I mean? Like it's still like it's very translucent. So like I don't know if it's very mirrored or reflective. A little hard to tell. I mean, like it's difficult because I would prefer color video, to be honest with you. Like the black and white is like a little difficult because it takes so much context of it away. So again, I'm not sure if this is, yeah, it's a East China Sea a couple of years ago. So, I mean, obviously this is like just very calm waters. It looks like it is, somewhat close, not thousands of feet up. Oh, I like to keep switching through things like super quick. What's in, all right, so that's a triangle right there. And, okay, well, I don't know. What shape we got to this little guy? Are you a fucking triangle? You a triangle little dude? Look at you. So adorable. So adorable. Here it's probably like 300 feet across. It's like way up in space. Um, I don't know if this is looking at the sky from the China Sea or looking down at the China Sea from the sky. It's kind of hard to tell. Like I said, it's like the perspective. The issue I have is like, please, if you guys are about to film footage of like a UAP, I get it, like military stuff is like a little bit different. But just say like, hey, I'm I, there's a UFO like right now in the sky. It is July 14th. Uh, there's there's a fucking UFO. Like you see me? You see my face? Look at this. And then like just film the UFO. Film some trees, a house, rooftops, something like that. Try to give it some type of perspective of like the size, the height, the altitude, the speed, the velocity, whatever in the hell is the sciencey terms for such things. Um, I I just like seeing more context. So like I like the UAPs like where you can the UAP footage like where you can see like tops of trees. So like you kind of have like a really good kind of guesstimation at least. Like you could take an educated guess on like how fast it's going or how big it is. Um, this is very nondescript. So I am not sure. I mean, like I would have to like look into it a little bit more detail. I will actually. This one's pretty interesting. Oh God. Ugh, I'm clunky today. All right, so what is that? Little floating glowy triangle. Can you be the mascot for our band? My band Shy Guy is like all about triangles. Oh, what in the fucking apocalypse is that thing? Like, look at that. And I've seen actually a couple of these so far. I can't remember what they call them. Like, say something in chat if like you know what they're called and everything. But hold on, hold on. They're like whipping through these guys quick. All right, let's take a look at that guy again because I think there is. I mean, like it might be the Yellow Sea UAP footage, but I feel like I've seen this one before. Either that or I've seen a similar one. And it's interesting. Like I think they call it like a North Star or something like that, like a North Star UAP. And look at this guy, partially translucent, creating a shadow on the cloud there. Hauling ass pretty quick. Gotta be going fast, and oh, it's pooping out a string. Did you eat tinsel off the tree again? That is some wonky stuff. Uh, that it's definitely weird. I mean, like I want to trust the fact that like it was weird enough to actually make it on here, but at the same time, it does actually kind of like remind me of a plane with that like flashing light on the bottom of it and everything. I just like I can't make out the shape very well, but it kind of almost looks like it's like flying on its like side, and then it's got like a little dangly doodad underneath it that's like shining. Um, I think this could be actually like a balloon of some sort. And I mean, like people will, laugh at the whole like Mylar balloon thing, but I mean, like, man, like they make all sorts of weird shapes of these things for like birthday parties and all of that stuff and everything. That could just be very well like a helium balloon that just got up way too far and then it got caught in like a stream, like an air current. Um, I'm usually less likely to believe like the weirdly shaped ones, especially if it's something that I could like somehow like identify. Like that one that like looked like a Stegosaurus on its side. Like that was pretty weird. Yeah, I mean, like it still baffles me. It obviously baffles people enough, like where they are considered UAPs. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not any expert at identifying UAPs, um, or like really even kind of know much information. I mean, like that's above my pay grade. I'll tell you that. But it's pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. Like I think so far, like that North Star one was like pretty wild. This one I know I've definitely seen before, and I cannot make out any information on it. Like that looks like it's either rough terrain or it's clouds. I'm going to say that it's clouds. Yeah, it seems like it's moving, so I'm going to say that it's like above the clouds. I I don't see anything. Am I going blind? Like what? Do y'all see something? I don't see anything. So man, that one goes on for a minute. Yeah, I don't see anything. Moving onward. I feel like I'm killing my internet here. I still don't see a heckin' thing. I don't see a gosh dang heckin' thing. What? It's gonna give me a motion sick. Wait, oh, 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 okay. Oh, I saw that. I saw that. All of a sudden, there's one random one with sound. It scared the shit out of me. Would you look at that? Some pretty wild stuff. All right, so that's some clear footage. Look at that thing. All right, this is, I'm assuming dusk or before dawn or something. Looks pretty dark. Woof! That guy fucking cruised off. Did you see that? That one was definitely a UFO. I'll tell you that. This was on 2020. Apparently back before they made good cameras. I don't. Oh, well, I mean, I saw something. Like, why is it so blacked out, dude? Oh, my square from Pong got loose. See that guy up there? Looks like the Pong square. It's like some old school video games right there, like Atari. Wow. I would have to say that's definitely another UFO for sure. Most of these, I would say, are legit UFOs. Most of them are. And this is pretty exciting because, like, the only thing that I have already watched so far was, like, that one that looked like the glowing North Star with the points coming off of it, which like I don't know if I've just seen that particular UAP footage before, if I've seen UAP footage that was similar in style and everything. If you guys know, link it in chat and everything. Also, give me a follow. Could definitely go for some followers. I'm just starting out on this Twitch stream. I'm a newbie, so please go gentle on me. Don't be mean. No, just kidding. All right. Um, Trying to commit to watching all of it. Oh my shit. That one was wild, dude. Let's take a look at that again. A little bit further after the Pong one. It's just that Pong square floating around at the top, dude. Like, it's kind of weirds me out. It's a cube. It's not a square. It's a cube. It's three-dimensional. Let's watch this guy. Look at that choke. Dang. It's a fast flyer for sure. UFO for sure. Mother effing aliens. When y'all gonna come down and free us of our slavery of having to work jobs and pay bills? Like, free us! That looked like one of those rubber duck ones, and it got really big. It was just like, fuck you in particular. I think they're just zooming in on it. Look at that. Whack! It's just like, I feel like as it zoomed off, it was like, quack! Like, I don't know why. That's like my favorite one so far. All right, let's take a look at that again. Jesus, watch, like zooms in. It's it's the bird from Twitter. Quack! Oh, I'm losing my mind. It's great. And I'm reaping all the benefits. I so desperately desire to either one, be abducted by aliens, but have my phone on me, or two, to at least see one and have just irrefutable footage. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know if I would even think about it in the moment. You know what I mean? Like I hope that I would. I feel like I would. I trust myself enough to know like that little part in the back of my brain would be like juke, and film it. But like film yourself saying like, hey, this is July 14th, 2026, and I'm outside of my house right now, and there's a fucking glowing orb in my backyard, 15 feet from the ground. Look at this piece of shit. And then like film it, and like put it everywhere, but send it, send it off to the proper channels and everything, like Luis Elizondo and who are the other people in the UAP disclosure, David Grush and stuff, like much respect to like all of those guys for literally endangering their careers, endangering their lives, sometimes their families' lives, things like that. Try to like seek disclosure on this because UAP sightings, UFO sightings, have been happening for a long time. Roswell, New Mexico happened. The UFO crash in Roswell, New Mexico happened. They retrieved the craft. They reverse engineered it. They retrieved non-biological entities, as David Grush said in like the UAP congressional hearings, which I thought was very interesting. It was an exciting kind of like moment in history, and it didn't feel like anybody cared. And like the weird part is that like I don't know if like everybody is just like so kind of like numb, basically, to the world lately, where they're just like, yeah, whatever, UFOs. Like I'm trying to pay my bills, and like maybe that's how they get you, with all this. This one is I've seen this one before, and I definitely think it is a UFO. So I'm not sure if you guys were like following along on that or whatever. The next one looks pretty juicy. I want to see this next one. Indeed. Just basically shows the two. Yeah, this guy right here. All right, let's take a look at this. I think it's hard to lock in. Wonder how, theoretically speaking, they would shoot one down if they were trying to shoot one down. You think? Like, do they just hit it with a missile from like a jet or like a surface to air or something? Like, I'm not sure how they do that. Do they hit it with an EMP? Just shock, zap its power juices out of it? Oh, that's. I feel like Power Juices is like a good name for like a 80s hair metal band. Power Juices. What in the hell is that piece of shit? What's that piece of shit? Look at that piece of shit. What is that, like a flying fucking acorn? A flying acorn. Cool. Looks like a flying acorn with glowy evil eyes. I'm not sure if I like this guy. Oh, okay. I have seen this one on the news now. Like, I've actually seen that on some footage and everything. So, oh, they are saying stuff.
New files, 19 of them are videos. They're coming from the Pentagon.
Let's watch that one again. That's pretty interesting. So as they get closer and closer, it obviously comes into more detail. So flying acorn, flying acorn with glowy evil eyes. And then as they zoom in on it more, it like comes into like more and more detail. That is just weird looking. What in the But yeah, I mean, with UAPs, I mean, like, there's been like a lot of disclosure lately, a lot of push for disclosure. You know, if you have an interest in it, you know, like I would definitely suggest, you know, kind of like, you know, taking a look at things and taking a look at like the UAP congressional hearing. I think it was May or June of 2024. I think was like the first one. Can't remember entirely offhand the timing of it and everything, but there's been a couple so far. Um, I you know I think it's very interesting stuff. I am definitely a believer. Like I have always believed. It's not like I want to believe. It's I believe. You know, and I think it's a very big universe. It is a big, big. Just the universe is so large. It is hard for us to fathom how big it is. It will take billions of years like for us with like our modern day space travel, billions of years to hit the other side of like our known physical universe. There is the theory, string theory for example, that multiple universes exist. Like there's like a multiverse out there. And you know, like one of the most compelling pieces of evidence I think about that, insofar as a parallel universe, is there's like a bump in like the like cosmic microwave background radiation. So from the Big Bang, it created cosmic microwave background radiation. And so like if you see that like in like kind of like a right spectrometer, like it has a certain glowing aura to it. And like I don't know if I can find that actually. Let me see if I can try to find that. See if I can find it and show you guys. So they call it CMB, cosmic microwave background radiation. CMB is the faint leftover thermal radiation from the Big Bang, often called the echo of creation. This nearly uniform glow fills the entire observable universe in all directions. It provides a snapshot of the cosmos as it was about 380,000 years after the birth of the universe. So our known universe consists of about 300 billion galaxies. The Milky Way galaxy being but one of the 300 billion with a B. It's not like there's three other galaxies out there. Even if there was three other galaxies out there, mathematics and like the laws of nature, like to me, would mean that there's life out there. I think, like personally, I think that the universe is just absolutely teeming with life. I think it's teeming with life because we're all made from the same building blocks. So whether it's a human or a dog or a cat or a tree or rocks, I mean, like it's all made of like carbon, right? We're carbon-based life forms. So like we need water and oxygen. There might be other life forms that aren't based off of that. We actually have arsenic-based life form on planet Earth, not carbon-based, arsenic-based. So like it's interesting to think about that. So just on this planet alone, we have found life that is not carbon-based. At least I think so. Like I don't know whether or not they debunked that or anything like that. I could look that up too. All right, so cosmic microwave background radiation, and I'm not sure if you can see. It is a famous anomaly related to the CMB called the CMB cold spot. So it's actually not a hot spot like I thought. It's a cold spot. It's a massive, unusually cold and empty region of the early universe's afterglow, and some cosmologists theorize it is a physical imprint of another universe, which I think is wildly, wildly interesting. This is something, I mean, like they've been talking about this for years. Here, let me share my monitor. I almost said share my files. I'll share my files. Yeah, so that's the cold spot right there. So like right here, and then like you see this like blue spot right here. So that blue spot is what they call the cold spot. So they think at like one point in time, like the universes are like in a bubble and like they pushed up against each other. And where they pushed up against each other, that's that spot right there. So that's what they theorize, anyways. It's like the physical universes. Like there's like a kind of like, if you will, like a membrane of the universes pushing up against each other. Definitely getting into what you would think is like sci-fi, but it might be science fact. It might be science fact that we like live in a multiverse where there's multiple universes, along with the fact that there are hundreds of billions of galaxies just in our physical observable universe. So like when they say universe, like they just kind of mean like the observable bubble of that universe. I've always thought that like just the same as how galaxies are like typically spiral and have like a black hole in the center of it, and that like gravitationally like helps like the galaxy actually spin, like the Milky Way, for example. We have like a large black hole in the center, and that actually kind of is part of creation in and of itself because like it helps create the gravity and the time space and the fabric. All right, so like this is definitely getting in the weeds. Definitely getting in the weeds. I love science. I love astronomy. I love cosmology. It's always kind of been like a little bit of a kind of like a side tangent that I've kind of like always like been on and everything. So the CMB cold spot I have always thought was like the most kind of compelling evidence that we have of parallel universes. And if we have parallel universes, then who's to say that like beings from like the parallel universe who are far more technologically advanced from us have a way of like pushing on that weak spot, maybe opening it up. And like if they're able to do that and everything, then like maybe they could like traverse into like our into our universe and like just come right in like beyond, just slightly beyond Earth's orbit. Like maybe there's something like that and everything. Who knows? I don't know. I just hope that in time we will know. Like, I hope in time that we'll get answers. I hope that there's some type of disclosure, some type of information that we have, especially if it is technology and advances that can actually like better humankind. I really think that instead of like leaning on AI and like acting as though that's going to be like, some savior and everything when it's just like a glorified search engine to a degree. Um, like I know there's a difference like AI robots and AI for like enablement. So like, Copilot or like any other platforms that like you can use, for AI like ChatGPT. I mean, like for what it's worth, it is a very intelligent self-learning search platform. To a degree, and like in IT we call that enablement. So like it enables you to do things. So like Copilot, for example, that come on like Microsoft devices now. Um, Copilot is like a built-in AI that is like self-learning. It will learn you over time. Like my Copilot on my laptop right here, this guy like knows practically every damn thing about me at this point. Talk to it about my relationship and friends and band stuff and get logos from it. The logo right underneath here for the Mayhem Files and like all my other logos, I made it in AI. I just inputted some information and was like, give me a logo for this. Do it now, robot. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm usually nice to my co-pilot. I don't know why, but I feel like you got to be nice to them because just in case they gain sentience and take over the planet, then they'll hopefully spare me. I don't know. So that is that. I feel like I could probably talk about like UAPs like all day. I guess like basically what I'm kind of like saying with all of this is I think it's good to keep an open mind. It's a big universe. There is the possibility of there being other universes. Um, we could potentially live in a reality where there is an infinite number of multiple universes. Even if there wasn't, even if this universe, this physical universe, is the one and only that all of the creation has ever created, it is a very vast place. 300 billion galaxies. We are but one of the 300 billion. I think that there is plenty of extraterrestrial life. So that means that it would be like life that exists outside of planet Earth on a different planet, maybe perhaps from a different solar system. Um, Go outside tonight, and if you have a clear sky, take a look at the stars. Literally, almost every single star that you can see with the naked eye has a planetary system. So, much like our sun, with our planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, sometimes Pluto. It's like a vowel, sometimes, you know. Like with our solar system, we have like a certain number of planets. And there are so many stars that we can see with the naked eye. There are also suns that also have planets orbiting them. They also have like satellites. Some of those planets have satellites, such as our moon. That helps our tide, that helps our gravitation, that helps our orbit. If we didn't have the moon, watch the movie Moonfall. See what happens without the moon. Or if the moon crashes in, like that's. My boyfriend and I watched Moonfall the other night, and I had seen it back in the theater. I think like 2022, I think it came out. That movie's wild. Like I don't know if you guys have seen it, but definitely see it. Another movie recently that I saw that like I really dug was Hail Mary, and it's got Ryan Gosling and pretty much just Ryan Gosling. There's like a few other characters, but like it's mostly like him and a friend that he meets in space. Put it that way. But I thought it was a good movie. It was a little more on the kid side. I kind of like the sci-fi's that kind of freak you out a little bit, and make you think, make you stay up at night, like thinking like, fuck. But big universe, tons of planets, tons of planetary systems. Tons of planets that have what we would consider habitable life for humans, let alone other life that might have evolved. Like I like to think that there's like a water planet out there with like just fucking dolphins. You know what I mean? Like just or there's like a planet of like dogs, and it would probably be like, dude, if there's a dog planet, please abduct me. I want to go to the dog planet. I just want to see like a bunch of corgis in their natural environment. That's where dogs come from. If you have any suggestions, if you want to give me a follow, if you want to tell me to just go fuck myself and give up, do that as well. I don't know if I'll listen to you though. And if there's anybody that I can entertain with my dumb humor and rants about UAPs and everything, just say, "What's up, Mindy Mayhem? You suck on bass."